Zed, so could you just walk us through kind of the timeline of the decision to shut it down? And I know the Iowa game, it seemed like you were banged up not once but twice. Was it really that second time that was maybe the breaking point?
After I got hurt, the Purdue game, I've been kind of like monitoring it, wearing the brace and tape underneath the brace just to keep it like stabilized. But, just keep getting hit in it every game. It's not like the teams are going for my shoulder. It's just basketball plays that, trying to make. But the Iowa game, when I tried to play defense and he spun baseline, I just put my arm out and it did what it did. Um, you know, I was like, okay, like this, my shoulder is not getting any better. So I was like, yeah, might as well like get it now and get everything right, get the surgery now and get my shoulder back to 100%.
Did you kind of know in that moment, right when it happened at Iowa, or did you kind of need to think about it with
No,
your parents and stuff like that?
yeah, I didn't know right in the moment. It was definitely, talked to my parents. I talk to them every day. So definitely talked to my parents about my shoulder, and came to a decision that it would be best to shut it down and get the surgery. So
How hard was that decision?
it was tough. Obviously I've been battling through it, and that was another thing. I was like, look, I can keep pushing through it, but as just where it was at the Iowa game, there was no reason to keep going. It was definitely a tough decision. I had to think about it for a couple of days. Like I didn't make a decision right away, but after some long hard thinking, decided to shut down.
So when you, like you said, you keep going out there and you keep trying and it keeps happening. I know we talked to you like a week or so before the Iowa game. You said it was like a 6 out of 10
Mm-hmm.
to let you know it was there. But like as you kept going out there and it kept happening, like what does that feel like when you muster up enough courage, strength, whatever to go out there and bang, and then that keeps happening? Like is that like a cumulative effect from game to game that it's like every time I go out there this happens, you start to almost anticipate that it's going to happen?
But first, obviously, it was frustrating. Just in the realm of everything, not being 100%. But I wasn't really thinking about it because my shoulder was like it would feel good going into the game. Like I would feel confident with it. But whenever I would get hit in the game, then that's when I would like notice it right away. So.
Zed, I know we kind of asked you this during the season before you got shut down and everything, about just how much the injury was actually impacting your game and stuff, and I wonder if your answer might be a little bit different now. Now that you're at the end of the season, looking back, how much would you attribute kind of just your drop off statistically and things like that to that injury? Like was the Zed we saw at the beginning of the season and the Zed we saw right before the game and everything like that? How much of that had to do with the injury, would you say?
A lot. Obviously, I'm down there in the post, so I use my shoulders a lot to get the defender off my body. There's a lot of jumping, grabbing rebounds, and people going in there hitting your arms, and I use my left hand a lot for the jump hook. So it definitely, even with the brace on, it definitely affected a lot because I knew like my shoulder wasn't 100%, and like the shots that were falling in the beginning of the year that I knew I can make, it just wasn't falling. So it goes back to that like the frustration standpoint too, because you could do something, but you're not 100%.
Yeah, was it kind of tough, to be playing, and to not be yourself, but to not want to sit up there and make excuses with the injury, but knowing that was such a big reason, why it was impacting you?
Yeah, it was very tough. Just knowing that you're not 100% and knowing that you're not playing the same, you definitely, like, I was thinking a lot about it. I was like, what can I do to go back? But, I was just going out there. I was like, look, I'm just going to give everything I got. And, obviously I still wanted to play. I still do want to play. But, it's just where my shoulder is at right now. I need to get fixed to get healthy.
Zed, I'm assuming with this shoulder surgery, your whole upper body will be shut down, right, for a good long while.
Yeah.
Did they tell you about what's coming with that, or how that's going to affect the rehab and when you can start?
Yeah, obviously when I first get the surgery, my surgery is Thursday. So in the beginning, there's going to be a lot of rehab, little motion, just from the pain standpoint, just to keep it moving. But as the weeks go on, I'll get more rehab in, and then as the months go on, I'll be able to shoot again. So it's the time frame that they gave me is 4 to 6 months, but I'm not really looking at it, and like I'm not really like pushing for 4 months. So like whenever my shoulder feels fully healthy and ready to go, then that's when I'll.
Back to the basketball side of things, what did you maybe learn about yourself or the game this year, and just in dealing with disappointment? And sometimes you can control some things, sometimes you can't control some things. What'd you learn?
There's a lot that I learned this year. Obviously, this year, well, first, being a leader, there's some ups and downs with that. Even from high school, like I always had like an older guy to look for. This year I was the older guy, so there's definitely some ups and downs in that department. But this year, obviously, a lot of people are disappointed how the season went. But we're still going out there every game and giving it our all. And the guys on the team, even me, not playing, still in good spirits and still going out there every game and competing. So even though I'm not playing, I'm on the bench cheering, jump up and down, first one off. So just continue out the season and finish off the season strong.
But one more guy. You mentioned the ups and downs, and you mentioned about like being a leader.
Yeah.
Were there some things in that department maybe that you would want back, or was that speaking about something else?
Yeah, like I'm not really not gonna go into detail, but there's some stuff that, like obviously that you would want to go right or you want to do something different, but that's in the past, and you move on, you live from mistakes, so just learning from that.
Zed, Coach Holtman was talking to us about your continued development, and obviously the surgery is going to affect what you can do this summer, but heading into next year, he's mentioned maybe playing you more with Felix. Just where do you want to see your game grow once you are back out on the court and you can be fully healthy again?
Obviously continue, expanding my game, just shoot more threes, I think I shot a little. I don't know how many I made this year, or how many I shot. But just keep expanding from that. Faster footwork, better conditioning. Same things I said last year. Just keep improving on it and just keep growing my game, versatile. Just keep expanding it to the perimeter.
How do you think you and Felix could work on the court together?
I mean, we could. It'll be a problem because he'll be down there. He's 7 foot, athletic. Times just blocks well, but and even me even if I'm playing the 4, like I could go down the post and it'll be a mismatch problem. So it'll definitely be tough for other teams to guard.
If you don't mind sharing, like what exactly are they doing with the surgery?
Yeah, that's a great question. I just know that they're going in there and repairing like the labrum and but other than that, I just know they're gonna fix it. Like all the doctor terms that okay, cool. Like I don't get into that. I don't know what they're talking about.
What special plans do you have for getting rid of that brace that you did not seem to enjoy wearing very much? You do anything fun to be done with that brace?
Yeah, I'm like obviously I had to wear the brace like this year from Purdue, but I'm so glad I don't have to wear that brace after the surgery anymore, just because it obviously helped keep my shoulder intact, but it's also hindering as well. So, but I'm glad I had it because I wouldn't be able to play without it.
And how when it first happened against Purdue and it came out, you said you're dealing like pain 6 on a scale of 1 to 10, like since then. In that moment, how bad did that hurt?
In that moment, this is probably like a 9 or 10. Like when it fully dislocated, I just closed my eyes and went down, and it just felt weird. Like my shoulder felt weird. I was trying to move it, it just wasn't happening. So now I opened my eyes and looked, and I said, yeah, that don't look right. So I tried to make a play, but then I saw Zed Key get the ball in the paint. I said, yeah, it's not. I'm not getting dunked on and hurt. So yeah. So after that, it was brace time. After that.
You've talked about how tough the decision was. You're about to have surgery, but how are you doing mentally as you've come to terms with shutting down your season?
I mean, I think I'm doing good. Still coming in, still smiling. Obviously, I said it was a tough decision. I was a little disappointed at first that the season, my season has like ended, but it's just out of my hands at this point. Like, there's nothing really more I could do. I just know come Thursday, like my shoulder's gonna be on the process of like healing. So excited about that. But it was tough at first, but I'm okay.
How has your leadership role either changed or evolved now that you support the team from the sideline?
I mean, it's definitely different. Obviously I'm not out there playing on the court, but still talking to guys. Trying to be vocal, trying to still bring energy on the bench, keep the bench engaged, and just keep everyone firing on all cylinders.
Or dunk yesterday, Bryce or Sean?
It was two totally different moments. Like Bryce was insane. Like that dunk was by far one of the worst posterized dunks I've ever seen. But Sean was just I wasn't ready for it. Like me and him joke all the time. Like, are you gonna dunk this season? And he says nah, my legs. But when I saw him go back there, I was like, there's no way he's gonna dunk it. And I saw him jump, and I don't remember what I did after that because I just stopped breathing. I'd be having to sit down because I'm about to pass out on the bench. So I was definitely hyped that on both times.
Zed, just with the pace of the game, when you're out there playing, it's probably a lot different than watching. What are some of the things that you picked up on just being able to watch the game that you probably wouldn't notice if you were out on the court playing?
There's a lot of stuff that you notice. So you see obviously you see it differently. So you're looking at everybody on the court instead of just you can see everything from the sideline. So you're up there on the bench calling out bass screens because you could see it from the sideline. So just trying to help my team, any way I can by just calling out stuff from the sideline and making sure that everyone's in the right position. It goes both ways, offense and defense. So.
Right, and just whenever an athlete goes through an injury, it's kind of knocking down and having to get back to the top. Does this sort of give you a chip on your shoulder, just kind of embracing that underdog mentality to get back to the player that you can be?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to be 100% and working out. But this is my path right now, and I'm just gonna take it and continue to get better every day. Thank you.